Hi everybody and welcome back to a new reading vlog on my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name's Leora and I talk about books, reading, writing and sometimes other stuff as well. Okay, so I've sat down quickly to film the intro to this reading vlog because I just got my first ever Illumicrate in the mail and I'm so excited. Illumicrate is a really cool fantasy book subscription service. You get like a fantasy book and also some goodies, and I've been wanting to work with them for a very long time, so I'm super excited to announce that I'm an Illumicrate rep for the upcoming months. It's been a while since I have done unboxings on my channel, so I'm very excited about it because of that as well. Now, I have been ill for a few days, but just bear with me because I am too excited. Like, I cannot just let this sit on my desk until I feel better. Like, I can't do it, so I have to open it now, and then when I feel a bit better and I've picked out a new read because I've just finished my last one, I'll come back to you guys with like a proper reading vlog update. But for now, let's unbox this baby. I'm so excited. Already looks really pretty. Okay, so the theme for November was some kind of monster. I love the design with all the moons and the flowers. I just love anything celestial, basically. I'm a simple girl. This is the spoiler card, which says everything that's in the box, so we're not going to be looking at that. First thing that is on top here, I can already see. This really feels like a throwback back to the old days when I was doing unboxings more often. Okay, so I see this little sort of jar, I guess. Ooh, okay, I love the colors of this. I have like vintage jars like these all around my house, so this is a great item actually. It has a Vanessa Len quote on it. I loved her book. "You're a hero and I'm a monster," she whispered. "There's only one way that story ever ends." Oh, and it's got all these sort of zodiac signs on it, I think, or at least animals. I don't know, it looks beautiful. Oh, I think it's a jar for tea. That is actually very handy. I could also use this for my coffee beans. Oh my god, is it a blanket? Oh. Not me yelling because of the blanket. Okay, so I see this little bag. It's either a blanket or a towel. Oh my god, that's so pretty. Wait, how does this work? Oh, I think it's a scarf. Okay, so it's none of the things I thought it was. Frozen Wilderness Scarf. Invoke your second sight like Vasha in the Winter Night Trilogy by Catherine Arden with this scarf perfect for the cold months. Okay, yes, I think I'd rather use it as a blanket of sorts. Oh, a tote bag. These always come in handy. Oh my god, and it's sort of a dark academia-esque Scholarmen's tote bag. That is so cool. Okay, I love the little moon design that they did on here. Like I said before, you put moons on anything and I'm like, yes, great stuff. Then I see a little velvet bag. Oh, I love when they put things in like little tiny velvet bags, and I just love receiving these boxes. It just feels like you're getting a little gift for yourself every month, which is just so exciting. Oh my god, it's a sword. So I believe this is one of those like really heavy letter openers again that looks like a sword. I've got one of these before and they look so dramatic just lying about your house. I always feel like such a beauty vlogger when I do stuff like this. Okay, that looks really cool, and it's very heavy as well. It says in the spoiler card it's just a sword replica, so I guess it doesn't really have any use, but I'm going to be using that as a letter opener. Okay, and then we have the most important thing, which is the book of this month. Ooh, oh my god, that looks stunning. This is one of the prettiest books I've ever seen. Oh my god. I don't know if like the original cover is this pretty as well, but that is stunning. I'm not reading anything right now anyway. Maybe if it sounds good, I'll just pick it up straight away, I guess. Genuinely one of the prettiest books I own right now, I think. And look at those sprayed edges. I'm normally not such a big sprayed edges girl, but these look really good. Okay, let me read a bit to you so we can figure out what this book is about. I just accidentally took the dust jacket off and I'm just like flabbergasted at how stunning this book is. That is literally insane. No. Look at that spine. I'm not even like exaggerating right now. Oh my god, just look at that. Ignore my nails, please. Thank you. That is so pretty. Like, I expected it to be pretty, but this is wild. Oh, everything is pretty about this. Okay, now let me finally read it to you. Hemlock Falls isn't like other towns. You won't find it on a map, your phone won't work here, and the forest outside town might just kill you. Winnie Wednesday wants nothing more than to join the Luminaries, the ancient order that protects Winnie's town and the rest of humanity from the monsters and nightmares that rise in the forest of Hemlock Falls every night. Ever since her father was exposed as a witch and a traitor, Winnie and her family have been shunned. But on her 16th birthday, she can take the deadly Luminary Hunter trials and prove herself true and loyal, and restore her family's good name, or die trying. But in order to survive, Winnie must enlist the help of the one person who can train her, Jay Friday, resident bad boy and Winnie's ex-best friend. While Jay might be the most promising new hunter in Hemlock Falls, he also seems to know more about the nightmares of the forest than he should. Together, he and Winnie will discover a danger lurking in the forest no one in Hemlock Falls is prepared for. Not all monsters can be slain, and not all nightmares are confined to the dark. So the synopsis kind of reminds me of A Far Wilder Magic by Elson Saft. Like sort of there's a hunt and there's sort of a forbidden romance going on. I just love a good book set in a forest, so I'm really excited for this. And I might just start straight away since I'm ill anyway. I don't have anything else to do. I'm just so mesmerized by this cover. I could look at it all day. Hi everybody. Okay, my vlogging has been so messy and all over the place for the last few days. I was just putting my beret on casually. Another day, another beret. I filmed that unboxing of the Illumicrate, and after that I got a bit ill again, so I didn't film for a while, and then my friend came to visit from Scotland. We had a lot of fun, showed her around Rotterdam, but I didn't really feel like vlogging, so I didn't. But now I'm back and I've actually finished the Luminaries by now, and I've started a new read. So I briefly want to tell you guys about this book. I finished it in just a couple of days. I was very gripped by it, and especially in this edition there's some really stunning illustrations, and it's just a very cool edition. It's got illustrations like this one of all the monsters in the book, especially sort of the compendium pages like these. This is exactly the type of sort of illustration that I love in books, and it's like sort of creepy and weird. Oh, I kind of forgot to say, but I dyed my hair again. It's like a bit of a darker shade of ginger, but it'll probably wash out, so it's not such a big deal, but I do like it. Sorry, this vlog is honestly chaotic, but I guess you're used to it if you watch my channel. I really liked the illustrations, but I've leafed through a regular copy of the Luminaries in the bookstore and they didn't have them, so I guess it's just in this edition, which is a shame because it's so beautiful. There are a few things I really liked, but there are also quite a lot of things that I did not like about this book, but because it turned into sort of like a guilty pleasure, I did end up rating it 3 stars just because I had so much fun reading it, even though I thought it was quite ridiculous. And again, I'm coming to this sort of point where I'm like, am I aging out of YA? But I'm just not sure, because I still really enjoy reading middle grade, for example, and obviously I'm not 12. But there's just something about like that magical world and that whimsy that you don't find in adult fiction as easily, and I have the same with YA. There's just a lot of interesting ideas and magic systems, and also the industry seems to be moving a bit faster sometimes in terms of diversity. But then when it comes to actual plot points and stuff, it feels like a lot of the same tropes are happening over and over again in YA. And I think I'm just kind of tired of it at this point. Another thing is that sometimes in YA certain things just feel silly. Like for example in this book, the magic system is really interesting. There's these families, they're all called after names of the week, and I had a big issue with that, but I'll come to that later. And these families all sort of have their own strengths and mottos, and there's also a bunch of illustrations about that at the end of the book. So the Friday clan has as a sigil a grey sparrow. The motto is integrity in all, honesty to the end. And so that's the case for each of these clans. They basically sort of guard this magical forest with nightmares that are sort of the physical creatures that have stemmed from all the evil in the world, and they have to protect the world from these nightmares. And that whole idea and sort of philosophy behind that was really interesting, and I love that there's these magical communities that have like schools and teachers and basically a whole society, and it's like in all different corners of the world are luminaries, and I just really like that idea. But then all the characters that are like part of the clans are called like Jay Friday, Winona Wednesday, you know, and that's just, it was too much for me. I'm not sure why I couldn't stomach that, but it was just so annoying to keep reading about characters called like Erica Thursday, and I'd be like, yes. Then at some point we find out that the main character is actually called Wednesday Winnie Wednesday. That's a top contender for most ridiculous names, together with like America Singer from The Selection, which is just so bad. And then also the whole bad boy romance thing that she had going on with one of the guys in this book. It's just, I think maybe it's just not for me anymore. But then again, that sort of young, fresh inventiveness that this genre and this book as well brings is something I really enjoy. And also, the main character kept talking about his thigh muscles, which is very funny to me. Like every other sentence, she'd be like, his thigh muscles. I was so disappointed he didn't climb up the rope because I couldn't see his thigh muscles. I looked down and accidentally looked at his thigh muscles again. And I'm like, yes, you're into him. You like his thigh muscles. Anyway, I feel like I'm still free to read this genre even if I find it a little bit silly every now and then, because there's lots about it that I do still enjoy, like I said before. So mixed feelings on this book. I do think there's lots of people out there that will enjoy it, maybe especially a younger audience that isn't as critical. And you know, sometimes even if you don't try to be critical, something is just too out there. Gorgeous edition, and I'm really happy I read it. And then after this, did lots of book shopping while my friend Meredith was here. Too much book shopping, in fact. And I bought a lot of new books, and I just started one of them, and I'm really excited about this. Let me get it for you. Look, I've even been tabbing it. That's how excited I am. Okay, not gonna lie to you, this is also definitely a silly book, but I'm just enjoying it immensely, and it's making me laugh out loud literally every page, and I'm just having the best time. So this is A Marvellous Light by Freya Marske, and it's about Robin Blythe, who is trying to save his family estate. Both his parents have died, and it's kind of tragic and sad. And then he gets a new job, and it's supposed to be kind of this like low-life job, you know. One of his parents' enemies sort of forced him into it, and nobody wants that job. But then when Robin gets there, he finds out that he'll be acting as a parliamentary liaison to a hidden society of magicians, and his predecessor has gone mysteriously missing. So lots of things going on, and then a curse gets put on Robin as well, and he has to solve it together with his colleague that's not really happy about the whole replacement thing. It's set in 1902 or 1904, I believe. It's very chaotic, but it's mostly just so funny. The dialogue in this book is so good. Freya Marske is like incredible with making banter between characters and like witty remarks, and it all feels so natural and fun. And I know that this book will be a bit too flowery in its prose and a bit too much over the top for some people, but for me, I'm really enjoying it so far. And also look at that William Morris inspired cover, and I know for a fact that it's William Morris inspired because they're talking about William Morris wallpaper in here, so there's no way that's a coincidence. So I'm really excited about this. Okay, I should have been working this morning, but instead I was taking selfies of my new hair color. And right now I need to go to the bookstore. Yes, I need to go to the bookstore because I'm picking up a few copies of Dolly Alderton's new novel, which has finally arrived to my local bookstore. I've been waiting and waiting because I didn't want to buy it on Amazon. I'm also buying a copy for a friend because this book has been kind of difficult to get your hands on in the Netherlands, not sure why. I'm talking about Dear Dolly by Dolly Alderton, by the way. If you're new, maybe you didn't know, but Dolly Alderton is one of my favorite authors. She is so good. She writes like amazing essays and like sort of coming of age, struggles of living in the city, being young, being single. She's written a fiction book which I really enjoyed. It's called Ghosts, and she's also written Everything I Know About Love, which was sort of an essay collection that felt like a narrative, and it was really good. And now there's this new book which is basically all of her columns that she's written, which are like Dear Dolly columns where she like talks about problems people have. So like people send in a question, she answers, and those have been bundled up in a book, and I'm really excited about it. I don't think it's going to be like as groundbreaking as her other novels were for me, but I do think I'll really enjoy this, and I just think she's so funny and such a good author. So really excited to go pick that up. And I also need to buy a new agenda because I have a paper agenda, and basically now when I'm trying to plan things for the new year, I have to tell my friends I don't know yet because my agenda only goes to the end of 2022, which has been super unpractical. So I'm off to finally buy a new agenda. Got some books as well I've been reading.
I figured I should show my books.
Oh, Jan Wolkers!
Jan Wolkers, it's a classic.
Big classic.
I couldn't tell you anything about it yet
But you haven't started.
because I haven't started, and the rest is all writing. So it's reading
So
and
many
writing.
notebooks.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a writing book.
There's a journal, there's a random notebook, and there's a writing.
Oh, so you organise them like separately?
Yeah.
That's great. Hi everybody, so I accidentally made this a very long vlog because it's now January 17th when I'm filming this. So I've already finished A Marvellous Light weeks ago, to be honest, but I just didn't really feel like vlogging. And so now you have this vlog that spans half of December and the beginning of January, I guess. This morning I've been working on some new art for my shop and I've tried to remember what happened in this book so I can still give you guys an update. So what I do remember is that I really enjoyed the beginning. You can also see I tabbed the beginning of reading this, but then I got past the midpoint and I just kind of got a little bit bored with it. It was just a lot of the same and the pacing kept very steady, which can be a good thing in a lot of books, but in this specific read, nothing super exciting happened. I did want to keep reading. I did have a good time. And I don't really mind when there's nothing majorly happening in a book. Like, for example, when fantasy is kind of slowly moving forth. That is something I enjoy. But in this book, it just kind of fell flat for me, especially because I was so amazed with it at the beginning. I did really enjoy the queer romance in this. I thought it was so cute and just really nice to see them fall in love and stuff and try to be more vulnerable with each other, things like that. I still think this is one of the funniest books I've read. Lots of great puns and just very witty banter, but it was not one of my favorites and I did really expect it to become a favorite, but it just wasn't that special to me in the end. I did still really enjoy it though, so I would give it 3 stars, I think. I've also looked a bit more into the sequel now because I was like, do I want to pick up the sequel, you know, because it was a book I really enjoyed. But the sequel is about a different character and it's a character from the same universe, but that is just one of my icks. Like, I get so annoyed when authors do this. Like, I'm attached to these characters now. I want to read about them. I don't want a new one. I don't want them as side characters in the next book. I understand the choices that were made and I understand like this can help the author like maybe create something new and exciting, you know, new character. But I'm not too pumped about it. If it were up to me, the second book would have just followed these two again. So I don't know whether I'm going to be reading the second book, to be honest. Oh, and one thing I also wanted to say is that I really enjoyed their sort of opposing personalities. Robin is very impulsive and he doesn't really think things through, but he definitely has a lot of feelings. And he feels like big, you know, his feelings are big. And then we have Edwin, who's really sort of stern and icy, but on the inside, he's sensitive, you know, and it's just really funny to see that juxtaposition with them. And I think their characters were worked out really well. I actually remember a surprising amount about this book. So that was my little review, I guess. Putting it back now here in my nice array of windowsill books. And yes, I always get comments about this. I know they're going to be colored by the sun, but I simply have nowhere else to put them. I should get some new bookshelves, but I don't know where to put those either. Anyway, I really hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. I'm just so happy today and I can't wait to upload this vlog. I've already edited most of it yesterday. Let me know how you guys are doing in the comments down below. Let me know whether you enjoyed this vlog, if you've read anything good so far this year. And if you don't want to do any of those things, just leave a nice book emoji. And yeah, I'll hopefully see all of you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day. Bye.